transfer our cylinder components over and set our base gasket in place. Here's our intake boot. Looks like it's got O-rings to make the seal against the flat face. We should be able to just bolt that right back up. To the new cylinder. So far this has been pretty simple. Not a lot to this. Everything comes out in large assemblies instead of small pieces. Get some more two-stroke oil to coat the piston and the rings. Make sure everything wants to slide. Really nice. Slide that down on the base. Double check, make sure that our ring gap doesn't move. It does not. Okay. And I like just a little bit of oil here on the inside of the cylinder as I'm going together. Keeps everything real happy. Looks like we want to do that the other way around. Not enough room for my hands. All right, here we go. Wiggle, little downward push. Goodies out. need to make sure this intake gets aligned properly. There's 2 locating dowels on the case to make sure that the cylinder is where it belongs. Now the reason I'm doing this is I don't like computer-controlled chainsaws. I don't have any interest in the fuel injection saws of either maker. I don't like auto-tune. I like to tune carburetors to the work I'm doing with the saw at a particular time. So when this 585 came to market, I was very interested because I would like a 592, but I don't want the auto-tune. So that's why we're going this route. I've had trouble with auto-tune saws in the past, and when they go wrong, all you can do is take it to a dealer who may or may not be able to help you. I prefer the Husqvarna saws, but I did have a 562 that went dumb one day, about 20 hours in, and although I'd been to the dealer a couple of times and they had done some flash updates and talked to Husqvarna and they couldn't find anything wrong with it, it never was the same after it messed up. There are some backer rings in here that want to come out, it looks like. Make sure those get back into place and don't get lost. Alright. Okay, that's our cylinder head down. Now we'll put our carburetor back. This stud back in that anti-vibe. Our fuel line and our primer bulb line. Make sure that's all nice and clean. Intake ring fell out on me. It does not want to stay where it belongs. Get our throttle cable routed again. Ah, yes. There's that throttle plate. Isolator's back in place. Check to make sure the throttle moves freely, and it does. Fuel line reinstalled here. T20s on the carburetor. Dropped one. There it is. Okay. I think this comes apart and goes back together faster than even a 372 or a 395. There's less screws for sure. Definitely less screws. A lot of guys delete the decomp. I'm going to leave it in for right now. This saw is not that aggressive to pull over, at least as a 585 it wasn't. I don't know if that will be the same here, but for right now we're just going to leave it with a decomp. Might plug that off down the road. Wires back in place. Air filter back on. Get our handlebar going. Just like that, we're almost done. Now, I got this OEM top kit. I did some searching online, and I believe the outfit is called Stahl's Logging Supply out east. They had the best price. You know, they had most everybody else beat by almost $100. on a 592 top end kit. So we got it from them. There are two different threads here. There's two coarse thread bolts go into plastic. There's 3 regular threaded bolts. And while those 3 regular threaded bolts seem to have the same head and be of the same length, they are different in thread size. Keep an eye out for that. All in all, that was pretty straightforward. I will finish the rest of it. I got to get a wrench for that spark plug because it's the small size spark plug. I don't have that wrench handy. We'll get it put back together. It's pretty late here now, so tomorrow we'll do a first fire and we'll do a little cutting with it, and then we'll see what its times are in that same log that we cut earlier. Thanks for watching.